Brian and welcome back to another video where we are doing more race car things on John's 2017 F80 M3. Now, if you followed the channel for any length of time, you'll know that we did pure turbos, a built motor, MST cooler, all kinds of crazy stuff on John's F80. It has 820 to the wheels right now. So to make sure this thing is an absolute track weapon, we are going to make sure that not only does it have power for the straight line, but it's going to be able to handle. So we're going to be doing some Moton coilovers. We have the 5100s, which are amazing. We have some safety, we have seats, we have new harnesses, we have upgraded brakes, because you can have all of the power in the world, but if you can't stop, you're dead. So just like we did on my F80 M3, we have an AP Racing big brake kit. We did go with the red, which is going to go really, really nice on John's black car. We were going to do the red on mine, but red on red, we were a little worried that the shade was going to be too close to the Ferrari red or might clash. But on John's car, it's going to look amazing because we have other red accents like paddle shifters. We also have things like, you guessed it, red harnesses. He has a red start stop button. So red and black is kind of John's theme. So it's, yeah, this whole thing is going to be amazing. So in addition to that, we are going to be doing a race display wheel. It's going to give him ultimate control on the track, and he's also going to have that little display so he can see exactly what's going on. We have some other things to keep him cool, like a Mosselman Thermostat. So these are the Sparco QRT-Cs. The C stands for carbon, and these things are crazy light. We also have a roll cage and some other parts that aren't here yet. With all of these delays, a lot of these parts have taken months and months and months to get. If you watch our videos, you probably noticed John's car in the back, and you probably just assumed it was one of ours because we've had it so long. I think we've had it for like 9 months, and we're still waiting on parts. So it is what it is. So what we're gonna do is we are going to start today by, I mean, you're gonna see everything in this one video, but what Zach and I are gonna do, we're gonna start with the big brake kit, and while we're there, we're going to do the suspension. And then from there, we'll probably do Mosselman Thermostat, and then we'll probably switch depending on when the cage comes back from powder coating. It's currently getting powder coated black. And then we'll set up the seats, and while we're doing the seats, we'll do the steering wheel, and while we're doing the steering wheel, we have some red M buttons that are going to be installed. We have paddle shifters, we have harnesses. Zach's pointing over there.
We have emblems.
Emblems, oh yeah. And as like a really cool finishing touch, John asked if we could get these, the 50th edition, I think they're called. So these are going to be coming on some of the G series, but he's already got the G80 wing on it, so it's definitely going to complete that look. He's got the GTS hood. This car is one of the coolest F80s on the road, and literally with what we're about to do today, it's going to get cooler. So let's get started. Look at that. Boom. Do not open. I'm gonna raise this thing up really high because I don't want to be on the ground. All right, let me give you a little tip here. Put my gloves on because it makes me feel like I'm a mechanic. All right, this disconnect is amazing. So to get it disconnected, you pull it like that, and you're like, oh, that was really easy. Then you go to plug it back in, you're like, wow, this is awful. So you pull this back, like so, you put it here, and then you just go like that. Easy.
It's not that easy.
Do you want to try?
No.
Here, you try. Here, switch with me. Do you want the gloves or no?
See, Brian has like car strength that he doesn't even realize.
Zach is way more jacked than me.
He makes it look easy, but it's definitely not.
It's easy.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm so close.
It's all about getting it lined up. Let me see if I can do it without gloves. The gloves gave me false confidence. Ready?
Oh my gosh.
You want to try again?
No.
That wasn't that bad.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Am I missing? I must not be lining it up right. See, he's got that car strength. He doesn't even know how strong he is.
You gotta use every part of your body. I'm using my knees too.
If you want to get ripped, work on BMWs.
The only thing I ripped is my shorts. When you look at the external canister, there is an adjustment on it. So makes it super convenient, as long as you put it in a place where you can get to it. My first thought when I was in here was like, there's not much real estate. I was going to take the fender liner down and put it back there, but you won't be able to get to it. So I am going to basically just mount it like up here somehow. Just even if you just drill a couple holes and then just use some ties, it should actually fit decently good. You have to kind of get creative because like if you had a stock intake, this wouldn't be an ideal location. Even with this intake, I have to, I have to mount it specifically to account for this specific intake. So I'm just gonna mess around with it for a little bit. I think I have an idea. And then with my incredible strength, I'm going to reconnect it. See, the angle is just so much worse now. It's nearly impossible.
What a champ.
Thank you.
Still makes it look easy.
I like how we did it like 10 times, like unnecessarily. We're just like, oh, this is fun. And then it's like, we have to do it. And we're like, I don't have any strength. All right, so as you can see, we have the Moton coilover in the front, and it looks amazing. And rides even better. So can't wait to take this car for a spin. Now we are ready to put the front discs on. And as you can see, these things are massive. If you take a look at the OEM, the fronts are pretty much the same size, actually. But the actual caliper is bigger. And it just looks a million times better. These are also a lot beefier, they're a lot thicker. These are two-piece. So as you can see, the hat is held onto the disc with this different hardware. And the reason that they do that is to save weight. This is aluminum, this is steel. So by having a two-piece rotor, everything can expand and contract and not get all warped and funky. So you don't want funky brakes. Also, before you install these, you have to actually wash them with soap and water. You will notice that after you install them, we're gonna try to get some pictures really quick before they rust, but a lot of times they will rust. Completely normal. First time you stop, all the rust is gone. So yeah, let me put this on. New favorite torque wrench. This is from Wera. So what is super cool about this is your torque wrench has like a little thing where you can make it go forwards or backwards. It's typically a lot weaker than one like this. With this one, what happens is if you want to torque something down, it's nice and sturdy. Or if you need to loosen it, you flip it. Isn't that cool? And I was worried that it was just gonna like flip through while I was using it. It locks in place. And wait, it gets better. It also has this little button on the back so that it locks everything in place. And then when you're ready to switch it, boom, there you go. And it's in Newton meters and foot-pound. So definitely a must-have tool. We actually started carrying these at Kies. So if you're interested in one, we have them on the site. Okay, now I just need to set this to 40. Boom. Step 11, insert brake pads. Do not skip this step. Could you imagine if you forgot A?
Oh, it'd be so bad.
A, you die. But B, when you go to bleed the brakes and you fill it with pressure, all the pistons just like bing, 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 bing. Wouldn't be good. These adjustment tools, compared to any other manufacturer that I've ever seen, these destroy the competition. These are like heavy duty steel. A lot of the other ones are like stamped aluminum. They're just pieces of crap. This says it's made in Germany, which makes it even cooler. Yeah, this embarrasses the rest of the competition's tools. All right, so now it is time to do the rear, or really continue the rear, because I actually did the other side. But come check it out. I want to show you what we did. Basically, I wanted to figure out like what's going where and how everything's going to be situated. And then, not that we're doing DIY, but that way, when I do it the second time, I'll kind of know what's going on. There were a couple little things, like there's this little spacer, and I had to ask Moton which way it went. And then also I got the recommendation on where they hide the canister, because some people, I was told some people will actually mount it to a control arm. Some people put it back here. The problem is you can't get to it. So what we did is we figured out a really cool way to mount it. So if you take a look in the trunk, check this out, ready? Boom! And that's all wired in. I am gonna put some kind of tie across the top there to mount it, just so it doesn't go anywhere. But this is all hooked up. All the wiring goes, well, it's an air tube, but it goes all through the wheel well, and it's discreet out of the way, and you can still easily click it. So if you're at the track, you don't even have to get your hands through. You just pop the trunk and you're just like, oh, I'm so lazy. Click, click, click. But awesome. I know that I've kind of spoiled this like 12 times, but I am putting this exact same kit in my car, and I think that looks really cool, and I want to do it, even if I don't touch it, just because it looks cool. So like when you're in a car show, you're like, yeah, I got Motons. Like, so yeah, super cool. So we're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. Basically what we did is there's this little air vent thing in the back here to relieve pressure and whatnot, and we just went right through it. So I thought it was gonna be a lot more difficult than it was, and the most difficult part was trying to connect that hose thing right there. So it took me and Zach to be able to do it. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. So as long as you can connect that, this spot is golden. And I have it pre-measured out on this side. What I did is I just drilled a 3/4 inch hole over there, and then yeah, we're able to mount it. So let's go. Alright, so the big brake kit is fully installed, fully bled. Check out how cool this looks. I love the red. Kind of makes me wish I got the red on mine. Looks amazing, stops amazing. I love the kit. I have it, so I can say for sure. Amazing kit. Have the Motons installed, and check this out. This is super, super clean. So with the canisters, we put one over here, and then we also put the other one over here. Looks super cool. Let's take a look in the trunk real quick. So again, you don't even see the line because it goes on the carpet, and then you just have easy access. I am going to put a tie over here. I want to get some of those metal ones, and then we're gonna mount that down. But everything is super clean. You excited about it?
I'm stoked, dude. This is legit.
This is legit. So cool. And now that we're done that, we are going to move on to some other projects. So we wanted to naturally just change John's oil. We have, here it is over here. We have some LiquiMoly that we're going to be changing his oil with. Some really good stuff, same stuff that I'm using in my F80 M3. And while we're there, we're going to be adding a Mosselman Thermostat, because John needs some underhood jewelry in his life, which has huge cooling benefits. So these are complete game changers. We have it on that car. There's gonna be video on that car, and we've installed a ton of them. So with that, we're going to drain the old oil. We're gonna change out the filter, change out the thermostat with the Mosselman piece of jewelry, and then put it all back together, fill it up, and then on to the next project. It's actually really clean looking. Look how clean the oil is. It's good though. Look, it's like brand new. All right, so while that oil is draining, I love using these things. So I started pouring oil in here. We have some big LiquiMoly jugs we started getting. Yeah, it just makes it easier, especially if you're using something like this, to measure it out. So because otherwise, like, you pour and then you look in, you pour and then you look in. It just makes it a little bit easier. We're also going to be adding Ceratec to this, which we started using with pretty much every oil change. It basically ceramic coats the inside of your engine for extra protection. So especially on a car like this that's going to, you know, be used for what it was made for, you want to make sure that you are protecting everything the best that you can. These are such cool bottles. I wish they were reusable or something. It's like this, I don't know, just, it reminds me of like a cool like energy drink. Speaking of, if you guys are looking for Ceratec or LiquiMoly, we have McKeesMotorsports.com. And then we threw a new crush washer on. And then, look, we're going from Wera Tools to more Wera Tools. Boom to boom. Let's set this to 24.9 Newton meters. Okay, perfect. Line it up. When you do it, there's a little hole here that goes there, and then you'll be able to line everything else up. And we also did the voluntary upgrade to titanium because it's titanium. You're gonna go this far, you might as well replace the bolts. Okay, then these get torqued down to 16 Newton meters. All right, I'm just gonna tighten this little bolt over here. Everything else is cleaned up. I'm gonna fill it with oil and then we'll check it out. Right now it is roll cage day, so we just got it back from powder coating. We picked it up this morning, and now what we need to do is we need to first remove the seats because it's going to make it a lot easier to get the cage in. Then once we have the cage in, we have some cool carbon fiber seats that we're going to be installing. So with that, let me pull out these seats while the car still has power. Then we'll kill the power, and then we'll get the new seats installed, and then take a look at how awesome it looks. So we have two options. Option number one is put a seat on here, directly bolted to the floor, bada bing, bada boom, done. Because John, the owner of the car, isn't here, that makes it a little bit more challenging because if I can't size it to me, and I don't want to guess at like where he wants the pedals and everything. So I'm probably going to put sliders in, but I just want to do a little test fit. I'm just going to set the seat in here for a second. This seat is so light. Oh man. When you put race seats in, it's like you put it in, then you take it out, and you readjust it. And then you put it in, and then you take it out, and then you readjust it. And then you put it in, and that happens like 400 times. So I'm just trying to only do it 300 times. Good thing we didn't wear all black and work on a black car on blacktop. I'm dying. So just to give you guys an update, we pretty much mounted the seats in here. I'm gonna have to pull them out to put some of the little eyelets on to do the belts. We are done test fitting. Everything is good. We have all the appropriate hardware. The roll cage is pretty much bolted in. I still have to mount it up a little bit. As far as the back, everything is fine. So we're just over here in the shop. Josh has his M235 doing a crank steel and a vlog inception over here. Gary, take your drive shaft out of here.
No.
So now I want to get the steering wheel done. And the other thing that we did is, if you look in here, he has the Silverstone armrest. I don't think it really looks good with this. So I'm going to surprise him with an OEM BMW Alcantara armrest, which is going to match the race wheel that I'm going to do right now. All right, so let's take a deeper look. So over here, one of the most recent things we did the AP Racing big brake kit, and they look amazing. Now I know someone is gonna leave a comment saying, oh, there's little spots of rust on the rotors. It's completely normal. We detailed the car yesterday and didn't drive it anywhere. Second you step on that brake, all that little rust dust is gone. Next we have variant, I believe these are the Argons. Love these wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. We have carbon mirror caps. Some of the stuff we did today, some of the stuff we didn't do. We're just gonna kind of go through everything. We have RKP side skirt extensions that we installed 2-3 years ago, something like that. Let's start with the exterior first. So then we have an OEM BMW G80 carbon wing. These things are amazing. Personally, I think they look better on an F80 than a G80, so I don't have one on my car, but amazing finish and fit with that. We have the 50th anniversary badges, which just add just a really cool element to this car. We have carbon rear things. I don't know what those are called. It's not really a diffuser, it's not really a splitter. We'll call it a rear bumper splitter. How's that? And we have an authentic Vorsteiner diffuser. We have upgraded carbon fiber M performance tips. We have Dynon exhaust, and we have GTS lights in the black line finish, which looks so good with this car. Just really like stealths it out. Let's talk about the hood and then under the hood. For the hood, we have a GTS hood, but not just an aluminum GTS. We have a GTS carbon fiber hood. To finish out the front of the car, we do have another 50th anniversary badge. We have OEM carbon here. These are canards off of an M4 GT4 race car, which is super cool. And then he has an additional carbon fiber lip under that. And then under the hood, you can see we have these sick Moton coilovers, which are the 2 ways. So we have the external canisters here. We also have them mounted in the back. In the back, no real point to pop the trunk just to show you this, but he has meth injection on this car. So he has a 2.5 gallon meth tank back there. We have an MST charge cooler, an RK titanium coolant reservoir. We have upgraded intakes, charge pipes, Mosselman Thermostat, upgraded oil filter housing cap. Oh, and by the way, it has a carbon built motor and strict cams and pure turbos and oil catch can. This is one of those cars, it's also custom tuned by Paul Johnson. It's running boot mode. It has flex fuel on it. It also has Precision Raceworks port injection, and I still feel like I'm missing something. This is one of those cars that it has a crank hub. It has so many mods that you could walk around the exterior of the car and miss several things because there is so much done to this car. So that's gonna be the high level overall summary, even though I probably missed something, of the exterior and the engine bay. Let's jump inside and check out the interior. Or I should really be saying lack of interior, because as you can see, we have a roll cage in here that we had powder coated this nice gloss black. And John really likes red. He likes that red and black theme, which looks so good. So we have red Sparco racing harnesses, and then we also have the QRT-Cs from Sparco, which are carbon fiber racing seats, which I can tell you from experience, I've driven this car from here to here, they feel amazing. And this is definitely gonna hold him in place as he's whipping the car around the track. Now, the car originally had Silverstone interior, which you can still see on the door panels. The thing was, it had the Silverstone armrest, and it didn't really go with anything. So what we did is we replaced it with an OEM BMW carbon fiber in Alcantara with M-stitching armrest, which perfectly matches the BMW OEM race wheel, which has this sweet display on it. It's not like those Chinese knockoff ones. This one is 100% legit. It looks great. What makes it more legit? Well, we added a 50th anniversary emblem on the wheel. We added red M1 and M2 buttons, and then we added red carbon fiber paddle shifters. So it doesn't get more legit than that. We've also done a couple other things, like we have a little switch in here which activates the port injection. So if he wants to run Ignite Red and just go crazy and have over 800 horsepower to the wheels in this thing, all he needs to do is flash the correct map, flip that switch, and he's good to go. Otherwise, we do have him set up with a flex fuel map. So if he wants to disable port injection, maybe he's going on a long trip and doesn't want to get 3 miles a gallon, what he can do is just flip over to that, and then whether there's 93 or E85, it doesn't matter what fuel he runs in it, it's going to auto calculate the tune to get him the most power. And then the last thing that you probably noticed that I didn't really talk about, he does have a snow performance controller. That's what controls the meth injection. But that's been in the car now for maybe 2 or 3 years at this point. So as you can see, not only does this car look amazing, it is a legit race car. It is super fast, it is super fun to drive, and now it has all the proper race car and safety goodies to make it the best it can be at the track. So anyway, once again, my name is Brian, that's Zach behind the camera. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. And if you guys are interested in any of the products that we did on John's car, be sure to see the links down in the description for a complete build of John's F80 M3.